All right, happy Monday if you celebrate that kind of nonsense. And to me, it was also known as shoulder and trap day in the gym. I've got a lot to cover in today's fitness report, and I apologize. I am drinking coffee. I haven't had breakfast yet, but so I'm just kind of having a sip of the coffee. I am hungry today, so we'll get to that eventually. But let's recap yesterday's arm day. So as you know, on Saturday we came off a rest day and then got back at it yesterday morning early with the arms, biceps, triceps, and had a pretty good lift session. Everything went good like that. And then for every other activity the rest of the day, I took a nap. Just kind of felt a little tired and sore with the muscles. That was fairly good. It wasn't nothing crazy, nothing too long. And then had a little steak, KC excuse me. I didn't have two. I just had one. Baked potato, some grilled asparagus, I believe it was grilled, and then even a small piece of cheesecake, chocolate cheesecake. That was pretty good. So nothing too crazy. It wasn't the large pieces of cheesecake. That's something I've noticed too. Is when you go to the store, they sometimes have those smaller pieces of cheesecake, and those will do it. I'm not a huge cheesecake guy to begin with, but everybody likes their sweets every once in a while, and especially when you've been in the gym and stuff like that. So I think I've mentioned that earlier. For me, it's just easier if I just have the sweets or whatever. It keeps me from going hog wild later on by eating a whole batch or a whole bag or anything like that. So if I can just kind of spread it out in moderation, I do a lot better than just going complete cold turkey on those type of things. So, but it was nice. That was kind of a real dinner, and it was just good to know that you can still eat normally even when you're working out. So anyway, so then we moved on to Monday morning, which is where we're currently at, and I did my first weight check, weigh in, kind of like weight check over weigh in. The weigh in, I'm not really competing for anything other than just my general health and strength. So that races with me, and so I just kind of like using the term weight check. Not that it matters, the exact same thing. But if you remember, so it's been like 7 or 8 days now. This is our start of the calendar second week, and if you remember, I was at 250 pounds even when I started this kind of vlog, video, fitness accountability that I'm currently trying to keep on. And I weighed in this morning for the first time since I started doing this, and I was 247.6 pounds, which, if I did the math correctly, that's a loss of about 2.4 pounds. So for me, that is a really fantastic start. It's so much better than gaining 2.4 pounds. And I kind of chuckle about it, but the sad thing is I've been there before. Whenever I've said, okay, I'm going to get serious about going to fitness or the gym or whatever, and gained weight like the first couple weeks. So that is deflating. Now, I also realize too, I'm not gonna drop the 5 to 10 pounds a week. I don't think my body can do that. I remember when I was younger, teenager years, even early 20s. Yeah, you could. I could do not do, but 4 or 5 pounds a week. Not sustainably over the long term, but it could definitely show up on the scale. And I've just noticed over time that that is not the case anymore. Any weight that you've lost for me is a victory. So I'm going to take it. I can't tell the physical difference. Obviously, I mean it's just 2.5 pounds. I wish I could. I wish that's how it worked. But from a mental standpoint, it's terrific. It just really keeps giving me also the motivation that this can be done, and that I can continue to create a sustainability, weight loss, increase my strength as we get closer to 5 years out from 50, which is just crazy to think about. But It happens to everybody. So, and I know also that each week is not going to be like this. I've already mentally prepared myself, and I've accepted it that some weeks we may not lose any weight. Fortunately, some weeks we may gain a 2 pound, and some weeks we may I don't know, maybe lose 3 pounds. I don't know, but having been through this a couple times now, these kind of restarts and everything like that. I know it's already prepared me, and I've already accepted it. So I think for first time folks, when I first started doing this, that was really deflating. Not having the weight loss be consistent. But the longer I've done this and been on this earth, I just know that weight loss is, for me and for I think for everybody, is a downward trend over time, and it just kind of depends on how long that downward trend takes over time. So I'm good. I will take it. I'm real excited, and it definitely has given me the motivation to continue on. Okay, so let me get a sip of the coffee here. Got a new flavor today. It's not bad. And then it might be better than that. No, the Dunkin' yesterday was definitely better. I really enjoyed that Dunkin' coffee. But for the gym report, got in there for about 7 normal time, which was good. 7:30 in between there, and did the 1.5 miles on the treadmill. I was at about 1.3 and had almost 25 minutes. I think when I hit the stop button, I was like at 24, which I was just good. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't go for 25 minutes. I didn't want to do 25 minutes. I was only going to do 20 minutes to begin with, which that was about where I hit the 1 mile mark at on the treadmill. So I was like, okay, this is already an improvement. But I think it goes back to that weight loss. It was just I kind of felt extra motivated to keep going, even though I know realistically it's probably not going to do anything. But hey, 25 minutes I guess is better than 20 minutes. And then I did the lifts, the shoulder and some trap lifts for probably like 30 to 40 minutes. I've always been a big shoulder and trap worker. Just really enjoyed those lifts. I know I said that about every lift, but it's just kind of amazing to me how, some shoulder lifts you can do a lot of weight and others you can't do hardly anything. So always been really fascinated with that. And, I think your shoulders too, I think from me at least, you can definitely see some development over time. Now, as far as the hunger report goes, definitely pretty hungry this morning. And that's why, like I said, I'm sipping on the coffee. So that's definitely an intake, or, I'll definitely have to keep an eye on that. But I've got a pretty good plan for breakfast, lunch, and dinner today once I get done here. So I think we'll be able to manage the hunger pretty well today and get that under control in due time here. So my water intake yesterday also, I noticed it. I don't know if I remember I mentioned this or not, but I wasn't at a gallon yesterday. I was probably like, I was over a half gallon, but I wasn't near a gallon of water. That's just something, kind of ebbs and flows. This morning though, yeah, I've already had a good amount of water, and so I will easily be over a gallon, maybe a gallon and a half today of water, which, as I mentioned previously, it just helps me, control the hunger over time. It just, that feeling of being full. So I just feel so much better too. And it's just crazy when you go to the gym because man, I'll just sit there and just chug water. And then, afterwards, like, oh God, I gotta get this water down. But that's just how it's always kind of been for me. So let me see. So after the gym, yeah, perfect. Okay, I didn't start digressing about water again, which I gotta stop doing. I've noticed that I do that quite a bit nowadays. Yeah, we'll get there. Okay, so Monday morning, I like going to the grocery store, and I don't know if this is how it is for everybody or every grocery store everywhere. It might be, I don't know, but I've just noticed that there's a lot of like really good marked down on sale, sell that day type items Mostly because it's going to expire, go bad, and they're just trying to clear it out. But man, this has become an Easter egg hunt for me. Like, I'm starting to get really excited about the Monday morning at the grocery store, and just kind of wandering around to see like what is on sale, or what, and it's not even on sale, but like, oh, this is marked down over here. And today was no exception. They had these huge salmon pieces of I mean, it's farm raised salmon, so it's not like, it's Alaskan wild, but I'll eat fish. And I think like normally they're like 12, $13 or something ridiculous. And they were marked down to $5 because, obviously it's gonna expire, so I'll get it cooked up today. But I just, man, that just puts a smile on my face, and I don't know why. It's just become this Easter egg hunt for markdowns. And they had some other good stuff too that was marked down. But I just, last week it was chicken. They had all this chicken that was marked down, and that turned out really fantastic. So yeah, it's kind of become a new game for me. I kind of feel like, I think my parents or whatever, when I was a kid, they were always talking about, grocery store sales or coupons or that kind of stuff. And here I am, 45 years old, getting excited about markdowns in the grocery store and what item is priced to sell. So, but anyway, yeah, when I saw that salmon, I probably should have got more of it, honestly, and I could have just froze it or something like that. But yeah, I just, I told him, I said, item no, Nell sold. I'm just curious if other grocery stores do that. So I'm just kind of scared to, go somewhere else now, because if I go there on Monday morning, they don't have it. I'm going to be like, oh man, so that was a one time deal. But hey, whatever it takes to stay on this fitness journey, I guess. All right, for the rest of the day, like I mentioned, I'm pretty hungry today, but yeah, I'm gonna make an omelet and put some of that salmon in it that I got. And then tonight, it's looking at, I think, some hamburgers, probably no bun with it. And man, I wish they would have discounts on ground beef. It's just so expensive still, and it's just really frustrating. And I found myself really looking at the pounds and the ounces and everything like that on the packages, because it's a little tricky. You got to kind of look and see exactly what is marked down and what the pricing is and how much you're actually getting per pound and that type of stuff. And yeah, it just kind of gets kind of confusing. So, but they never really have any markdowns on the ground beef, which is unfortunate. But hopefully one day that pricing will go back down. So, but hey, so a little splurge, I guess, again tonight too. So, like I said, hamburgers. I'm not sure what I'll go with. I'll figure it out eventually. And we'll probably go on a walk today. The weather, it's supposed to be pretty nice, but it's also pretty windy again. A lot of the red flag warnings last several days, so hopefully we'll just battle through that. And that's all I really got. So appreciate you listening. If you're off to lift today, have a great lift. If you're doing cardio, have some great cardio. And if it's a rest day on a Monday, have a great rest day. And we'll get back at it tomorrow morning.